स्वागतं
Hello.
गुरुदेव सुस्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं सुस्वागतं स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं सुस्वागतं स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं गुरुदेव सुस्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं सुस्वागतं स्वागतं स्वागतं सुस्वागतं स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं सुस्वागतं स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं सुस्वागतं स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं गुरुदेव सुस्वागतं स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं गुरुदेव सुस्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं सुस्वागतं स्वागतं स्वागतं सुस्वागतं स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं सुस्वागतं स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं सुस्वागतं स्वागतं गुरुदेव स्वागतं गुरुदेव सुस्वागतं
Good morning, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to welcome all of you to this exciting youth motivation program. First, I would like to welcome a few guests. Immediate past president of Marwadi Yuva Manch Kathmandu, Shailendra Sharma ji. Now I would like to call the President of Marwadi Yuva Manch Kathmandu, Prakash Kejriwal ji. And I would like to request the General Secretary Ritesh ji Jajodia ji also to please come forward. Today marks the beginning of an incredible journey. One where we'll explore not just what it takes to succeed, but what it truly means to believe in yourself and unlock your full potential. To all the young minds gathered here today, whether you're looking to build your confidence, develop new skills, or simply find inspiration, know that this program is for you. It's about empowering you to chase your dreams, face challenges with resilience, and embrace opportunities with open arms. Let's make today the start of something truly transformative. Stay motivated, stay curious, and remember, the future is yours to create. Thank you. Now I would like to please invite our guest, President of Marwadi Yuva Manch, Prakash Kejriwal ji, to speak a few words.
गुरु जी के चरण में वंदन और I think it has been asked to speak in English, so I'll go with English today. When we talk about, it's an opportunity for all of us to hear from Sardev Guruji about how the, what we say, this Bhagavad Gita can be used for youth. I think you are speaking on this topic. Okay, so it will be an insightful what we say, interactive seminar. We are very hopeful and looking forward to hear from him. About, like, when we talk about youth, one thing what we feel these days, that youth are somewhere diverted from the path that has been shown by our ancestors. We are somewhere, we need different type of motivation, and hopeful Guruji will take to that during today's session. I think I'll not speak much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasuva Yadbhadaran Tanna Asuva. Dear friends, this wonderful Sunday morning, we have gathered under the aegis of Jayshree, Charities, Nepal, and Marwadi, Yuva, Manch, Kathmandu, Nepal. As Barkha said initially, and Mr. President endorsed the purpose of this meeting of us. Each one of us want to be empowered. Each one of us want to make our life meaningful. We want to make our journey in this body on this planet Earth a memorable and fruitful one. How can this be achieved? In other words, if I were to pose you a question, why do you do what you do? You may be a student, you may be a young entrepreneur, you may be a professional, you may be a husband, a wife, a brother, a sister, a father, a son. And the activities that you do day in and day out, what is the purpose of this activity? Do you want to answer that? Let's have a cordless mic. Yeah, Barkha is there. What makes you do what you do? Going to school, going to college, going to shop, doing business, doing social activities. Why do you do that? You can answer in Hindi also. And you can answer in Nepali also. Somebody will translate it for me. Yes.
गुरुजी के चरणों में सादर प्रणाम।
प्रणाम बहन।
हम अपनी खुशी के लिए
करते हैं,
लाइवली फैमिली के लिए, बच्चों को अच्छा सिखाने के लिए, परिवार को चलाने के लिए हम लोग सोशल वर्क करते हैं, ना कि अपने नाम के लिए।
ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं। तो खुशी के लिए, because you derive pleasure from that. Good. Any other answer? ये बिटिया को दो, पहले जो बैठी। आप नहीं दोगे तो मैं दिलवाऊंगा आंसर, मुझे पता है।
For peace.
For peace, okay. For pleasure, for peace. Any other answer? Next.
Pranam Guruji.
Pranam beta.
We all are dependent on each other, so
That's true.
that's why we fulfill all our needs.
To fulfill each other's need because we are dependent on each
Yeah, we
other.
are co-dependent on each other.
Correct. That's why we do what we do. All right. Any other? Ji beta.
Pranam Guruji.
Pranam beta.
We make our lives successful by going to school, by going to business or doing business.
Successful, right?
Successful.
Tell me your name beta.
Ashray.
आशय. देखो आशय ने बिल्कुल सही आशय बता दिया. The motive बता दिया. Correct? Any other answer? Yes.
Namaste.
Namaste.
So, you asked like why we do what we do. And what I think is that in this social dynamics of the society, there are some rules, there are some responsibilities which are designed for maybe a student or maybe a parent. And so that's the thing people are doing or following because everyone in the society is doing the same thing. So, and they think that maybe this is the path for success or...
Beta, let's be brief. Why are we doing it? Don't talk about others. Why are you doing it?
Because everyone else near me is doing that and they...
Because others are doing it, you are also doing it?
No, because others are doing it, there is a pressure on you to do the same thing. But I believe that it should not be like that.
बहुत confused हो बेटा आप. ठीक है, clear करेंगे आपके confusion को. All right, we have a lot many answers, but it summarizes our purpose. We do it for pleasure, we do it for peace, and the very close and very correct and very honest answer is given by Ashay that we want to be successful and that is why doing it. Peace, pleasure, our purpose is no doubt about it. But then arises the question that what do you consider it as pleasure? Being successful is a pleasure. Being successful gives you peace because till you don't achieve success, you are not at peace with yourself. You are missing something in life. In many of my seminars, I ask this question. Everybody wants to be happy and successful. Happiness and success are two parameters, but the question always remains that what is success? Is it to be happy is success? Or being successful gives you happiness? What is more important? Ultimately, it boils down that ideologically one person says that happiness is important, but the reality is, unless and until we are successful in what we are doing, we cannot be happy, we cannot be at peace, we cannot derive pleasure, we cannot derive satisfaction with our own self. In fact, as this gentleman who's a little bit confused is because others are doing, if we are not successful, we cannot even interact, we cannot even look eye into eye with others. Success is very essential. Field may be different. Everyone cannot be and should not be strive for the same success. If somebody believes in success as in the mountaineering field to scale Everest, but that cannot be the mark of success for everyone. There was a beautiful example that if you are in competition or if you are judging the person's success, you have to consider that person's environments, his interests, his abilities. If you keep the competition of flying, all the fishes and aquatic animals of the world will be a failure, utter failure. And if you judge a success by person's ability to swim, then all the birds will be a failure. So, when you judge a person, when you judge a success, you have to consider the person's circumstances, the person's interests, aptitude. Only then you can mark the success. Success is not just like a stamp you are in there and successful, not successful, happy, not happy. At peace, not at peace. You cannot put such stamps. But whichever field you choose, in order to be successful, I have brought a formula that how can you be successful. In fact, the word success itself gives the direction to achieve success. The word success is an acronym. It tells us how to be successful. You all know the spelling of the word success, right? SUCCESS. So each letter, each alphabet represents a quality. The first S of success represents set a goal. Till you don't have a goal, you cannot be successful. Most people average out in life simply because they don't know what they want to achieve. They are just looking at others, what others are doing. Let me do that. You become an average person. If you just go with the trend, आजकल तो ये चल रहा है, आजकल तो सब ये कर रहे हैं. If you just go with the trend, you will be just a simple average person. You have to set your own goal. This example anecdote which actually happened in my life, and I have related this example so many times in my discourses. Some 20 years back, I was invited to speak in front of school students in Bombay. It was a very prestigious school, and the principal invited me to address the assembly of students. Every Friday, if you remember, there is an assembly in the school. So I was invited to speak in front of them, and whenever I have an opportunity to share my wisdom with youngsters, children, new generation, Gen X, Gen Z. I don't miss that opportunity, because I strongly believe that if religion and spirituality has to survive, not only that, but if religion and spiritual values have to give benefit to the young generation, it can only be given to the young generation. Senior citizens, we pay respect to them. But poor fellows, they don't even have an opportunity to get spoiled in life now. बिगड़ना भी होगा तो जवानी चाहिए ना. अंकल और आंटी सब बिगड़ेंगे तो भी कहाँ जाएंगे, वो बिगड़ भी नहीं सकते अभी. तो जो भी करना है वो young generations से करना है. I always go to them. I was going to the school on this Friday morning, and on my ride to school, I was thinking, how will I address the students? I thought I will address them as my dear friends, like budding roses, something. As I could manage, socha tha. I went there, and there was like 1,500 students in front of me. 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th standard, 11th standard. So 15 and above students were there. And there was such a discipline. I was made to sit in the center on the stage. There was this principal, vice principal, trustees of the school, and the students. Initially, the principal gave a speech, the vice principal gave a speech, some trustee gave a speech. Our school is this, and we get such good results, 100% results in 10th standard. There's the alumni of our school. So people were studying, and they talked and talked and talked and talked. And finally, they said, now Guruji, Pujyashree, Bhupendrabhai, Pandyaji will talk a few words in front of you. मैंने कहा few words का ही time छोड़ा आपने मेरे लिए. बाकी तो आप ही सब बोल गए. Mike came in front of me. And I always begin my talk with a small prayer, as I did today also. So I prayed with my closed eyes, and when I opened my eyes, I was looking these 1,500 students sitting like this, in strict discipline. Now I had thought that I will address them as my dear friends, like budding roses, and here I am seeing these plastic roses. I always want an interactive, lively listeners. You can't speak in front of statues. Then later on I realized that this was not my fault. These students were ऐसे करके जो बैठे थे वो. It was the fault of these two Alsatian sitting on left and right of mine. Because a week before I went there were announcements. A big religious preacher, Guruji is going to come on this Friday assembly. Make sure your uniforms are ironed properly. Make sure your nails are cut. Make sure your shoes are polished. Girls के लिए कहा था, make sure you put oil in your hair and those ribbons. And बच्चे बेचारे डर गए थे, पता नहीं कौन आने वाला है. इतने instructions, or for the trustees it was the question of school's prestige. Well, just to make the session lively and interactive, I asked them a question. My dear friends, have you decided what you want to be in life? A few hands raised went up, and I asked one after the other. The first gentleman who stood up, he said, I want to be a doctor. The second boy says, I want to be an engineer. The third girl says, I want to be a chartered accountant. The fourth one says, I want to be a lawyer. The fifth one said, I want to be a pilot. And there was this student sitting right in front of me and staring at me like this. I said, ये छाती पे बैठा हुआ है और 1 घंटे तक ऐसे घूर घूर के देखेगा. मैंने उससे खड़ा किया, मैंने पूछा, बेटा, have you decided what you want to be in life? वो खड़ा हुआ, मैंने अभी तक कुछ डिसाइड नहीं किया, लेकिन जिस तरह से सब चल रहा है मुझे लगता है मैं पागल निश्चित बन जाऊंगा. Why? What else? My father tells me to be a doctor. My mother wants me to be an engineer. My uncle wants me to be a chartered accountant. My mama wants me to be a pilot. I can't be a doctor and an engineer and a chartered accountant and a pilot simultaneously. And even if I attempt to do so, I'll definitely end up being mad. I said, there you are. Till you have not decided what you want to be, others will impose their goals on you. Once you decide what you want to be, if you decide that you want to be an engineer, then your father who wants to be a doctor will see that now you have made up your mind. He will insist, well, beta, if you want to go for engineering, why don't you do such an engineering, bioengineering or something, which involves a little bit of medical science also. Your mama who wanted to be a pilot will see, and he will suggest, if you want to do this engineering, this is a good university, and to gain admission in this university, you will have to do certain certificates course. Now everybody will contribute to your goal. Remember one thing, dear friends. Till you don't have your own goal, you are working to realize others' goals. Others who have decided precise goals will use you to achieve their goals. And once you have your own goal, you will take help of others to achieve your goals. In order to be successful, the first and the foremost thing is set a goal. Next is you, the word success. You means ultimate faith in God, in goal. Once you have set a goal, it is important that you have ultimate faith. Otherwise, that goal will remain just a dream for you. I will achieve it. Having ultimate faith in the goal is to have commitment towards goal. I'm committed to achieve this. I'm committed to do this. And that will bring accountability. Most people, अब देखो, उनसे कुछ कहो कि ये काम करना है, हाँ देखते हैं, नहीं देखते नहीं, बताओ करोगे कि नहीं करोगे? टाइम मिला तो करेंगे, मूड आया तो करेंगे। ये टाइम और मूड ये क्या होता है? Commitment, ultimate faith. This creates your trustworthiness. And dear friends, in order to be successful in a long run, it is important that you build trust amongst people. They will know that if you're promised, you're going to do it. Commit ultimate faith in goal. Third, C, clarity of thoughts. If a person is confused, पता नहीं होगा कि नहीं होगा, कैसे करेंगे, तो you cannot plan a proper way to achieve your goal. Your thoughts should be clear. C is for clarity of thoughts. And then you have to plan step by step. Planning is of two types. First is long-term planning. And then long-term planning you have to break up into small steps. Say your goal will take 10 years to achieve to get there. But you can't just thinking of 10 years, 10 साल के बाद होगा 10. No, you have to break it down. What is my goal? Sub-goal in next 5 years? What am I going to do in next 2 years? What am I going to do in next 6 months? What am I to achieve that 10-year-old goal? In 15 days. Similarly, you should know how to plan and break up your process of working. And then another C is consistency. Once you have decided your goal, once you have chalked out the plan to achieve it, then be consistent in your efforts. In Yoga Darshan, Bhagavan Patanjali says, Satu Dirgha Kala Nairantarya Satkara Sevito Dradabhumi. If you want to be successful, there are 3 things. Dirgha Kala. You have to work for a long time, long period. Remember, great goals are never achieved overnight. If you see somebody is very successful, remember he has worked for a hard time, for a long time. Otherwise, the goals which are achieved in a very instant way, they also go away. Like a cloud, they fall apart. You have to create a very strong foundation. In order there's a beautiful word in English and I like it, in order to create a legacy. So that you have achieved a goal and there are people who are going to follow. In modern management, every corporate, every company, they say you have to have a mission statement. To do a business, to earn money in a traditional way, it was easy. And people understood, why do we do business? To earn money. Earning money cannot be the sole purpose of any activity or a business. You have to have mission. We want to make a difference to the humankind. We want to make this world a better place to live for the future generations. And this comes only when you have consistency in what you do. Consistency of what kind? In Vedanta, it is said, Tail Dharavat. If you pour oil from a bigger vessel to a smaller vessel, see the flow of oil. It is consistent. Similarly, your efforts should be consistent. If you have an exam in, say, April, you have to study consistently throughout the year, since June when your school opens. You have an exam on 15th of April, and 10th of April you suddenly wake up, only 5 days are left. Let me go to him, let me go to her, let me take some notes, let me take some important questions, and रात 5 जाग लिए this is not going to serve the purpose. 35% लेकर के निकल जाना एक बात है, and to be successful is a different story. So consistency is very important. Then comes E, is efforts with efficiency. Consistent efforts जो करोगे, those efforts also should be with efficiency. And this involves three things. A, your attitude. As Bhagwan Patanjali said, Dirghakala, Nairantarya, Satkara. When you want to achieve goal, dear friends, you have to have the right attitude. Just because your goal is very high, you cannot be arrogant. अरे मैं तो ये बनना चाहता हूँ, तुम क्या बन रहे हो? बनना चाहते हो तुम, अभी तो जरा keep your feet on the ground, be grounded. You have to be in a receptive state. You have to learn, you have to get ideas, you have to get inspiration from wherever you can. Our Vedic Rishi said, Ano bhadraha kratavo yantu vishwataha. Let the noble thoughts come to us from all directions. जहां से जो भी मिले स्वीकार करने के लिए तैयार रहो. It will add to your personality, it will add to your knowledge bank. So that is attitude. Then comes punctuality. Dear friends, if we want to be successful, we must understand the importance and value of time. I have seen majority of people, though working hard, cannot achieve what they want to simply because they do not value time. आधा घंटा, एक घंटा, देर होना, लेट आना, ये तो it's people say it's common. NST, Nepal Standard Time. 10:30 बोलो, मुदित मुझे बता रहा था, गुरु जी 10:30 कहेंगे तो 11 बजे आएंगे लोग. 10:30 means 10:30. Each minute is so important. मैंने एक बहुत सुंदर छोटा सा एनेक्डोट पढ़ा था. If you want to understand the value of 1 year, ask a student who has failed in a class. If you want to understand the value of 1 month or 2 months, ask a mother who has delivered a premature baby. वो 2 महीने तक बालक को जो ध्यान रखना पड़ता है, because premature आ गए. If you want to understand the importance of a week, ask a student who could not read because of ill health or something a week before the exam. एग्जाम के 1 हफ्ते पहले तबीयत ऐसी खराब हो गई, पढ़ नहीं पाया, ये नहीं है. पूछो उसको 1 हफ्ता वो मुझे मिलता, मैं कितना अच्छा कर सकता. If you want to know the importance of an hour, or if you want to know the importance of half an hour, ask a person who is stuck in the traffic and missed the flight. If you want to know the importance of a second, ask an Olympian who has missed his gold medal just for a fraction of second. Olympics में जो gold, silver, bronze आते हैं, do you really think that the gold medalist is the best? No, silver medalist is equally best. Bronze person has done equal hard work. It is the fractions of second, especially in those 100 meters and 400 meter races. Those fractions of second, those make very big difference. एक ओलंपिक में अगर गोल्ड चुक गए, you have to wait for another 4 years. And God knows whether you will be physically fit at that time, you will be selected in the, पता नहीं उस समय तुम्हारे competitors कौन होंगे. fraction of second. Time is so precious, so be punctual. Use every minute of your life constructively, positively. जेब में से 50 रुपए गिर जाए ना तो बहुत चिंता होती है. Oh, I had 50 rupees in my pocket. कहाँ गए गिर गए 50 rupees. 50 rupees गिर गए तो आपको इतनी चिंता होती है, लेकिन 50 minutes आप किसी के साथ गप्पे शप्पे लड़ाओ, टीपी, टाइम पास करो. Do you repent for it? I wasted 50 minutes. किया क्या? कुछ नहीं. In the long run, we realize that value of 50 rupees is nothing you can earn again. But those 50 minutes that you have wasted, it's never going to return in your life, ever. Time is so precious. And third thing, with respect to efforts with efficiency, is discipline. It's utmost. If you have decided that I am going to get up at 6 in the morning, it means 6 in the morning. Discipline. Every day I will be up at 6. My eyes will open. कोई कंसिस्टेंसी नहीं, कोई डिसिप्लिन नहीं. एग्जाम के टाइम 4 बजे उठ गए, 2 बजे तक जागते रहे और एग्जाम पूरा हुआ 10 बजे तक लेटे रहे. मंडे टू फ्राइडे या संडे टू फ्राइडे, यहाँ तो संडे इज द फर्स्ट डे ऑफ द वीक, राइट? सो संडे टू फ्राइडे ऑफिस जाना है, स्कूल कॉलेज जाना है, एफिशिएंटली उठ गए, सुबह रूटीन शुरू कर दिया. नाउ संडे और सैटरडे हॉलीडे, उठो 10 बजे 11 बजे, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, नथिंग टू डू. कैसे चलेगा? डिसिप्लिन. It trains. Have you heard? The soldiers in the military, they can't take luxuries. Because you never know when the attack will come and his ability will be tested. So discipline is at most important. SUCCE, and now S is sincerity. You have to be sincere with your goal, with your efforts, with others. You have to be genuine. You can't have a mask if you really want to be successful in life. You have to present your true, honest self in front of people. And remember, people are very sharp. If you put a false front, they will immediately. There was a beautiful quote. You can cheat one person for a long time. You can cheat many people once or twice. But you can't cheat the whole society for a long time. The truth will come out. People respect, people trust, people honor, and people support only those who are sincere towards that work. And finally, the S, the last S, is satisfaction with the result. You have given your 100%, total efficiency. But then, as the 47th verse of Bhagavad Gita in the 2nd chapter, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, and the verse is very famous, most of you will be knowing it, Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhur mate sangostva karmani. Your domain, your right is in karma only, not in the result. We have done karma, you have done our efforts with the best of our ability. But then ultimately, results are not in our hand. We have to accept results with satisfaction. And this is true. Because I do karma and I only decide the result. It's like I write an exam and I give marks. If I write an exam, obviously there has to be someone else who will correct my paper and give me marks. If we do karma, there has to be some other authority to give the result. We cannot decide the results. Another reason for is, karma is always in the present and result is in the future. You can control your present, you have no control over your future. Third thing, karma is, you are only concerned because you are doing the karma. But the result affects so many people around you. So we cannot decide the result. I'll give you an example to make you understand this. There was this doctor's wife and patient's wife. They went to the temple and both of her praying in front of God. Patient's wife was praying with folded hands, "Dear God, we are tired. My husband is running sick for such a long time. We have exhausted all our savings. We don't have money anymore. In fact, we have started borrowing from people. But it is important that my husband gets well soon. Please do something, God." This is the prayer of patient's wife. Right next to her is the doctor's wife who's praying to God, "Dear God, may my husband's business go on." Now decide, what will God do? These both ladies, they have done their karma of praying. And they both are right in their own ways. But the result is in God's hand. If God has to listen to the prayer of the patient's wife, then doctor's wife will suffer. And if God has to answer the prayer of the doctor's wife, then patient's wife will have to undergo. So we do karma, but the result is concerned. So many people are concerned with the result. We cannot decide the result. You have to ultimately give the results in the hand of the existence and trust it. This, dear friends, is the formula for success. Have you remembered the sutra? Shall I ask you? What are the points? The first S. Quick, mic kahan gaya? The first S. Set your goal, yes. Second, you.
You can ultimate. Sorry.
You are right. Ultimate faith in your goal. ठीक है? Ultimate faith in. You are right. Ultimate शब्द तुमने सही पकड़ा. Third S. माइक दे दो ना बेटा, किसी को दे दो, फटाक से खड़े हो जाओ. अभी तक संडे मॉर्निंग हुई नहीं तुम्हारी. Clarity of thoughts. Next, C. Consistency of efforts. E. Efficiency. Efficiency. फिर तीन बातें आई. Attitude, punctuality and discipline. Then S. Sincerity. And last S. Satisfaction. So I pray to God that may you understand and implement these points in your life and be successful. My blessings are with you. Now this was just a small introductory talk. As I said yesterday, and I always do in my youth seminars, it is always an interactive one. So now, if you have any questions, I will answer your queries. I will respond to your queries. Let's come out with questions. Yes, बेटा बरखा उधर है. अच्छा ठीक.
Hello, Guruji. As we talked a lot about success today, I would I'm really curious about that. Was your goal, your motive to be what you are right now or something else, but then the situation was like that which made you
Tell me your name, beta.
Ashray.
हाँ आश्रय बराबर है ओ, आश्रय नहीं okay. Well, I would have appreciated a question that applies to your life and which is helpful to you. But Ashray, you are curious about my life. I always wanted to be what I am today. When I was young, my grandmother always used to say, बेटा ब्राह्मण का शरीर मिला है सच्चा ब्राह्मण बन के दिखाना. You are born in a Brahmin family. Prove yourself to be a true Brahmin. And I used to ask my grandmother, what is it to be a true Brahmin? And she said the duty of a Brahmin is to study the scripture and preach it. First of all, to study. Second, put into practice what you have studied from scriptures. And what you experience, share those experiences with others. So my grandmother used to give me 3 words. Adhyayan, that is studying, Acharan, practicing, and Upadesh, preaching. And that is what I have been doing all my life. I have been constantly studying. I have been, this morning also when Mudit and they came in my room to give me breakfast, I was reading my book. So studying is always. Even if you wake me up at 12 in the night and put a mic in front of me and you tell me that Guruji करिए भागवत की कथा या तो गीता पर प्रवचन या रामायण की कथा या शिव पुराण की कथा कर दूंगा मैं. To speak for 3-4 hours in front of any type of audience in the world is like a child's play for me. But even then, I keep myself updated. I keep studying. How many religious preachers are doing Bhagavad Katha? You see, पूछिए इन लोगों से, you see who are good in English, who can connect with the young generation. So I always study, that's first thing. I put into practice what I have studied, Acharan. And I only preach what I am practicing. What I can't practice, I don't preach to others. So this was the goal given to me by my grandmother, and by the grace of God, I am walking on that path. Yes, there were other activities that I did, and some of them I shared with the audience in the Katha yesterday. But my vision was very clear. I did not allow any other activity to distract me from my main goal. And to conclude your answer, Ashray, what the question that you are asking, once a journalist, a TV journalist, a TV interviewer in America asked me that यदि आप जो हैं पूज्यश्री भूपेंद्र भाई पंड्या गुरु जी वो नहीं बनते तो आप क्या करते. मैंने कहा मैं भूपेंद्र भाई पंड्या नहीं बन सकता उसका पछतावा करता. I would have repented that I could not be what I am today. So I was that very clear. It is not that accident or something. Yes, I definitely say, as I said, my grandmother's inspiration and God's grace, Shri Krishna's Krupa, who have brought me into this field, made me stable, and it gives me immense amount of satisfaction what I am doing today from the Vyaspeeth with the help of scriptures, because I am transforming lives. Let me share the little bit what I told them yesterday, because how many of you were not there in yesterday evening's Katha? Please raise your hands. Make sure you come this evening. So I will say, I was working for a bank, Ashray. I got a job, and that was accident, because I was studying in a hostel, and other friends got some competitive exam forms for Banking Service Recruitment Board, and they bought one form extra, and they gave it to me, that extra form. There were 3 layers of exam. Wait a minute, Barkha, 1 minute, beta. Let me complete this. There were 3 layers of exam, written exam, interview, and another interview. I sailed through all those things, and I was chosen. I was offered a bank job, very prestigious one, and I'm talking about 35 years back, when for a person coming from a very humble background, middle class, humble background, bank's job and the government job was something, oh, zindagi ban gayi. You don't need to, think of anything else now. On the first day, and I'll tell you the day, that was 16th of April, 1984. That was the first day I was going to the bank. So, coming from a Brahmin, Sanskari family, सब लोग करते. I touched the feet of my mother and she was on the cloud 9. मेरा बेटा नौकरी लग गई, बेटे को सब कुछ हो गया. She was very happy. And when I touched the feet of my father, he went 2 steps behind and he said, खड्डे में गिरने जा रहे हो. So even today I remember that small skirmish amongst my parents. My mother told my father, what are you doing? बेटा पहली बार नौकरी पे जा रहा है तो आप ब्लेसिंग करो, उसको अच्छा आशीर्वाद दो. My father was a very good astrologer, very learned astrologer, very prestigious position he held in Mumbai. He said to my mother, I know his kundli, I know his horoscope. He doesn't have to do such jobs. He has to transform thousands of lives world over. And I always remembered this statement of my father. Though I worked for a bank for 9 years I was on the muster roll. But whenever I had a discourse, whenever I had an opportunity to do katha, I always used to remain absent in the bank and go for katha. At the loss of pay, loss of the salary. And ultimately I resigned from the bank because I remembered my grandmother's qualities, my ingrained goal, my father's vision, and Krishna's grace. So whatever am I today, it's because of the way charted precisely. It is not an accident that I am today. With a bell I am saying this. डंके की चोट ये कहा जा रहा है. Yeah, next question. बहना आपने कुछ सुना नहीं, सीधे आके क्वेश्चन पूछोगी.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
I'm Khushbu Agrawal.
Yeah,
And
Khushbu.
by profession, I'm a psychologist.
Wow.
तो जब मैं यहाँ पे आई हूँ, मैं अपने पापा के कारण आई हूँ, असलियत में बताऊँ तो इसी कारण मैं थोड़ी लेट भी हुई हूँ. तो पापा का सोच ये है कि हम यूथ वी डोंट बिलीव इन गॉड बोल के, whereas I oppose it. I say कि हम बिलीव करते हैं बट हमारे बिलीव करने का अपना एक तरीका है. तो मैं इसको अपने सेशंस में भी यूज़ करती हूँ अपने क्लाइंट्स के साथ. बट आज आई वांट टू आस्क यू वन थिंग कि हाउ कैन आई यूज स्पिरिचुअलिटी to gain hope. Matlab, people are hopeless, right? We use religious, we use different techniques, we use ideas, concepts, examples, everything. But how can I use spirituality to gain it?
Khushbu, your profession is one of my favorite professions, psychology.
sir.
I'm basically a science student, but I studied psychology on my own because I find it so interesting, and I knew that if I want to transform lives, I must know the human mind. Unless you know the human mind, you cannot give your ideas to them. So you can sit, Khushbu. So first of all, I congratulate on the noble profession like medical science, doctor. Similarly, in the modern world, psychiatrists, psychologists are equally important because yesterday, again, in my discourse, if you can rearrange your schedules and appointment, Khushbu, I'll appreciate if you can attend my Bhagavad Katha for beginning today and 6 days. My entire approach in my discourses is to touch human lives, is to give them peace. And yesterday I began with it. Yesterday's talk is on the YouTube channel Pujyashree Bhai, day 1 Katha, you will say, or if you ask Mudit or someone, they will give you the link of this. I began my talk that in modern times, the challenging issue in front of us is how to cure the suffering of the apparently happy people. कथा हिंदी में थी तो मैंने हिंदी में कहा कि दुखी लोगों के दुख तो हमने बहुत दूर किए और अभी तक हम उसको ही सेवा और धर्म समझते हैं. कोई भूखा है उसको अनाज दो, कोई गरीब है उसकी इलाज करवाओ अस्पताल का, किसी के बच्चे की नौकरी लगाओ, किसी को पढ़ने की स्कूल की फी के पैसे नहीं है तो वो भर दो। दुखी लोगों के दुख दूर करना अच्छी बात है, लेकिन अब जो समय आया है वो सुखी लोगों के दुखों को दूर करने का समय है। क्योंकि सुखी लोगों के दुख जो हैं, यू हैव अ बिग हाउस, वेल फर्निश्ड, एयर कंडीशन बेडरूम, मेमोरी फोम की गद्दी है, लेकिन उस गद्दी के ऊपर नींद नहीं आ रही है। लेटते हो रात को 2-2 घंटे तक दिमाग में विचार विचार विचार, थॉट्स, चिंता, वरी, स्ट्रेस, ये सारे मॉडर्न लाइफ के बाय प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, अगली बाय प्रोडक्ट्स हैं। दुखी व्यक्ति का दुख तो समझ में आता है, दुखी व्यक्ति तो हाथ फैलाकर मांग भी सकता है आपके पास और कोई देने वाला मिल भी जाएगा। ये सुखी व्यक्ति बेचारे किसी के पास मांगने भी नहीं जा सकते क्योंकि उनके पास सब कुछ है। दुखी व्यक्ति अपना दुख किसी से कह सकता है, सुखी व्यक्ति किससे कहने जाए? ही कैन नॉट ट्रस्ट एवरीवन। और कभी किसी से कहने गया तो लोग उसका मजाक उड़ाएंगे, हाँ आपको तो आदत है, आपको क्या फर्क पड़ता है, अरे इतना अच्छा कारोबार है आपका, इतना बड़ा मकान है, आपको क्या तकलीफ है? तकलीफ है, एंड हु नोज इट बेटर देन यू खुशबू, बिकॉज पीपल कम एंड ओपन देयर हार्ट इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू। इनके दुखों को कौन दूर करेगा? मेरी जो भागवत कथा है इज फॉर द मॉडर्न एजुकेटेड सुखी लोगों के लिए। श्रद्धा से जो लोग आए उन सभी का स्वागत है, ऐसा नहीं कि मैं दुखी लोगों के लिए नहीं करता, उनके लिए भी करता हूं। लेकिन वर्ल्ड ओवर जब मैं ट्रैवल करता हूं तो ये लोगों को ज्यादा आवश्यकता है। एंड स्पिरिचुअलिटी खुशबू इज द बेस्ट थिंग दैट यू कैन use it as a therapy to these people, because modern science and everything else make you dependent on the external things. Problem hai, what is the reason of problem? Socialists, politicians या socialists क्या कहेंगे? बाहर की परिस्थिति तुम्हारे दुख का कारण है, एक्सटर्नल सिचुएशन। वो बहुत ठंडी हो गई तुम दुखी हो गए, बहुत गर्मी हो गई तुम दुखी हो गए, किसी ने मिसबिहेव तुम्हारे साथ किया तुम दुखी हो गए, किसी ने कुछ कह दिया तुम दुखी हो गए, किसी ने तुम्हारे बारे में अनाप शनाप बातें फैला दी तुम दुखी हो गए। एक्सटर्नल सिचुएशन, एंड यू डोंट हैव कंट्रोल ओवर इट। दूसरा दुख का कारण, पॉलिटिशियन कहेगा द रीजन फॉर योर सॉरो इज समवन एल्स। तो पॉलिटिशियन अपना उल्लू सीधा करने के लिए क्या कहेगा? पुट मी इन द पावर एंड आई विल टेक केयर ऑफ द पर्सन हु इज क्रिएटिंग प्रॉब्लम्स फॉर यू। बट यू कैन नॉट ट्रस्ट पॉलिटिशियंस। वो मालिकों से कहेगा कि तुम्हारे स्टाफ है ना, लेबर, उससे तुम्हें समस्या हो रही है, लाओ पैसा दो, मुझे इलेक्शन लड़ना है, लेबर्स को ठीक कर दूंगा। और वोट्स तो उसको लेबर्स के पास पाए चाहिए, तो लेबर को कहेगा मालिक पगार नहीं देता है ना, मुझे चुनो, मुझे वोट्स दो, मालिक को ठीक कर दूंगा। तो पॉलिटिशियन इज लाइक दैट मंकी हु वाज टेकिंग बेनिफिट फ्रॉम बोथ द कैट्स। वो वादा करते हैं कि सुखी करेंगे तुम्हें, अभी तक का हिस्ट्री तो कह रहा है कि पॉलिटिशियंस ने कभी समाज को सुखी किया नहीं। थर्ड एजेंसी इज साइंस हु वांट टू मेक अस हैप्पी। ठीक है, मनुष्य को साइंस क्या कहता है? वी विल चेंज एक्सटर्नल सिचुएशन। ठंडी से दुखी हो रहे हो, विल पुट हीटर इन योर रूम। गर्मी से दुखी हो रहे हो, आई विल गिव यू एन एयर कंडीशनर। यहां से वहां तक जाने में तुम्हें तकलीफ हो रही कि चल के जाएंगे, कब पहुंचेंगे, क्या करेंगे, अरे आई विल गिव यू अ कार, आई विल गिव यू अ हेलीकॉप्टर, आई विल गिव यू अ प्लेन। जुप से उड़े पहुंच गए आप। ये साइंस कहता है। लेकिन हमें पता है कि साइंटिफिक डेवलपमेंट भी जितना होता गया, मनुष्य की चिंताएं, मन के अंदर के जो बीमारियां हैं वो कम नहीं हुई। परसों तरसों ही मैंने एक सुंदर कोट पढ़ा कि मेडिकल साइंस हैज डेवलप्ड सो मच दैट ऑन दिस एंटायर अर्थ यू नेवर फाइंड अ सिंगल पर्सन हु इज टोटली हेल्दी, थैंक्स टू मेडिकल साइंस। बिकॉज एक बीमारी ठीक करेंगे तो उसमें जो ट्रीटमेंट करते हैं उससे दूसरी साइड इफेक्ट शुरू हो जाती है। फोर्थ एजेंसी है एंटरटेनमेंट इंडस्ट्री। वो आपसे कहेगी कि हम आपको सुखी करेंगे। कोशिश तो करते हैं, मूवी देखने जाओ, 2 घंटा 2.5 घंटा मूवी में बैठो, यू फॉरगेट योर स्ट्रेस, यू फॉरगेट योर प्रॉब्लम्स, बट इट्स अ वेरी टेम्पररी डोज। जैसे ही वहां से बाहर आए आपके प्रॉब्लम्स वापस शुरू हो जाते हैं। तो देखा, ये सारी एजेंसीज दे वांट टू मेक यू फ्री ऑफ योर प्रॉब्लम्स एंड स्ट्रेस एंड mental agonies, but they are not totally successful. Religion and spirituality, beta Khushbu, is important. Why? Because first of all, they diagnose it correctly. What is the cause of your suffering? Religion says, spirituality says, these may be contributing factors, but the main cause of your suffering is yourself. The suffering cannot be entirely given or because of external situation. It's basically how you respond to it, how you react to it. जैसे 0 degree temperature है. Now that's the reality of life, that's a fact of life that it is a 0 degree temperature outside. But in 0 degree temperature में कुछ लोग आप देखोगे तो ठिठुर के बैठ जाएंगे, वो बहुत ठंडी। और कुछ ऐसे लोग देखोगे, वो एक सिंपल जैकेट पहन के, वो 0 डिग्री है, क्या है, कुछ नहीं। 0 डिग्री तो थी। What made the difference? These two people's internal strength, their ability. Now this is on the physical level. Similarly on the mental level, how strong you are mentally, how strong you are spiritually, that will carve your response to the challenging situation. The situation doesn't make you unhappy. How you respond to it creates the degree of suffering that you go through. And religion and spirituality, if truly understood and practiced, makes you internally strong. First of all, it makes you accept the realities of life. Most people's agony multiplies simply because they cannot accept what has happened with them. मेरे साथ ही ऐसा क्यों हुआ, मैंने किसी का क्या बिगाड़ा था, oh I am such a good person, I have always helped others, look at the world, you can't trust them, सब चीटर लोग हैं, सब ऐसे हैं. They can't accept. And if you don't accept the reality, how will you find the solution to it? Dharma says, spirituality says, first is acceptance. This is a bitter reality of my life. And I have to come over it. People will help, external forces will contribute. But if I am not in the driver's seat, others' help also will not be of any use to me. This is what religion says. And it makes you internally so strong, Beta Khushbu, that sometimes these problems does not exist at all. Look at the lives of the devotees. I say this in my discourses. Give me an example of a single devotee who has not undergone a problem. All of them. Mirabai, Tulsidas, Surdas, Narsi Mehta, Nanak, Andal. Name any of them. They all have faced problems. But did they complain? Give me one bhajan of Mirabai, one bhajan of Tulsidas, one bhajan of Narsi Mehta, that they complain, ओ भगवान तुम क्या कर रहे हो, हम तो तुम्हारी भक्ति करें, तुम हमें इतना प्रॉब्लम दे रहे हो, हमें इतनी तकलीफ दे रहे हो. नहीं, वो हमेशा कहेंगे, we accept, dear God, सब तेरी मर्जी, तू जो करेगा, we are ready to face it. This is what the second thing religion does. It gives tremendous faith in you and the Supreme. It creates such a strong, such a powerful bond that no matter what I am doing, what I am undergoing, what I am facing, my God, mera Ishtadev, mere Bhagavan is with me. As you said, the young generation, by just looking some external situation, rebel हो जाते हैं तुरंत. एक अर्थक्वेक क्या आ गया, कुछ फ्लड क्या आ गया, कुछ पेंडेमिक क्या आ गया, और कुछ न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़े, चैनल में पढ़ा, इतने लोग मर गए, इतने लोगों को ये हुआ, इनके घर पर गिर गए, इतना नुकसान हुआ। तो जो यंग इमेच्योर माइंड है वो कहेगा वेयर इज गॉड? यदि भगवान होता तो ये सब क्यों हो रहा है? वाई डू पीपल सफर? देयर इज नो गॉड, वो कह देगा। लेकिन जो धार्मिक व्यक्ति कहता है कि ये सारी सिचुएशंस में भी मेरा भगवान मेरे साथ में है। एक बहुत अच्छे शेर के साथ मैं तेरा उत्तर पूरा करूं खुशबू। नास्तिक कहता है, बंदे को जो तड़पाए वो बंदे का खुदा नहीं। यदि भगवान होता तो तड़प क्यों सहन करना पड़ता मुझे? बंदे को जो तड़पाए वो बंदे का खुदा नहीं। भक्त जो बिलीवर है वो कहता है, बंदे में खुद तड़पता है, वो बंदे से जुदा नहीं। यदि मेरे जीवन में समस्या आ रही है तो मेरा ईश्वर मेरे अंतःकरण में बैठकर मेरा साथ दे रहा है, वो मुझसे अलग नहीं है। This is what the faith, it keeps you going. Not only it keeps you going, it makes you progressive. That is how spirituality can help in solving problems faced by the modern society, especially emotional and mental upsetments. Right? Next. Thank you. उस बहन को दे दो, बेचारी भले लेट आई। कौन बेटा, क्विक। छोड़ो, नहीं है तो फिर कोई आज चलो। टेल मी योर नेम।
Varsha.
यस वर्षा, यू नो।
So, in the world of AI and so much of digital social media, how do the youth today connect to spirituality?
This is one of the most frequently asked questions in last about a year world over. एक बात याद रखो वर्षा, society has never been the same. It is always changing. Ever since so many years in the past. Yes, the medium was different. First of all, like some 1,000 years ago, or even maybe 100 years ago, printing of books began. Technology जो थी, books आई, and that was such a revolution. Today you won't be able to comprehend. ये जो वर्षा का क्वेश्चन है ना, AI, ऐसा ही ऐसा ही वो हुआ था। Books, each one had a book in their hand. They can put and note it, mark it, pencil से वो कर सकते थे। It was a big revolution. Novels और ये सब छपना शुरू हुआ तो उस समय एक शब्द आया कि जो बहुत ज्यादा बुक के अंदर घुस गया ना, उसके लिए एक शब्द था बुकवर्म, किताबी कीड़ा। वो केवल बुक में ही पढ़े रहते थे। जमाना बदला, टेलीविजन आया। अगेन इट वॉज अ बिग रिवोल्यूशन। थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू इन योर ड्राइंग रूम। Not only audio but video, you can see the things. Television, एक तरफ से कहा जाता था it is going to be a good source, a brilliant source of information, और दूसरी तरफ से लोगों को चिंता थी बिगाड़ देगा ये सबको। जो सदुपयोग करना चाहते थे उन्होंने किया, साथ में एक दूसरा जो भी लोग गलत यूज उसका किया टेलीविजन का, उनके लिए एक शब्द बना काउच पोटैटो। याद है ये शब्द तुम्हें? केवल सोफा पे पड़े रहते थे और वो टीवी देखते रहते थे। अनुपमा, काउच पोटैटोज। टाइम बदला, कंप्यूटर आया, तब तो लोगों ने सोचा अरे टीवी में तो क्या था, कंप्यूटर में तो कहां की बातें आ जाएगी, इंटरनेट आ गया। उसका भी सदुपयोग करने वाले लोग भी निकले, दुरुपयोग करने वाले लोग भी निकले। फिर मोबाइल टेक्नोलॉजी आई। कंप्यूटर के लिए आपको इतने बड़े वो डिब्बे के सामने, पता है शुरुआत में कंप्यूटर कितना बड़ा डब्बे वाला स्क्रीन और वो उसका कौन सा वो बॉक्स आता था नीचे, सीपीयू, थैंक यू। वो सीपीयू और ये सब कौन रखता है अब ये सब? ये यंग जनरेशन को पता भी नहीं होगा ये सीपीयू के डब्बे क्या होते हैं। आपके मोबाइल पे आ गया, इंटरनेट ऑन द गो। ऐसा नहीं कि ऑफिस में पहुंच के तुम्हें ईमेल करूंगा, और शुरुआत में तो ईमेल वो टेलीफोन लाइन से चू 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 करके आता था। याद है मुदित, बरखा, याद है? वैसा इंटरव्यू इंटरनेट के गए, वो यू आर जेन जी तो तुम्हें पता नहीं होगा, बड़ों को पता होगा। आपको चू 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 वाला इंटरनेट, अरे इंटरनेट लगता नहीं है, ये नहीं होता है, जरा कनेक्शन स्लो है, थोड़ा ईमेल हमने तो लिख दिया है लेकिन मिलेगा आपको, वो बातें थी। उससे भी आगे ये जो हमारे हाथ में आ गया, इधर आपने सेंड किया उधर उसको मिल गया, ईमेल पर भी जाने की कहाँ जरूरत है, व्हाट्सएप है, ऐसे जो डीएम है, ये सब डायरेक्ट करो, फटाफट मैसेजेस मिल जाते हैं। अब जो पिछले 1-1.5 साल से बात आई है, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, एआई, yes, from the face of it, it looks very scary. Because if not used correctly, it can have disastrous results. कुछ एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको बताऊं। इतनी छोटी सी, लाइक अ पी, मटर होता है ना, वो इतना छोटा कोई गैजेट ऐसा हो, और ये सारी चीजें हो चुकी हैं बेटा वर्षा। दिस थिंग कैन किल अ पर्सन। उसमें आप एक छोटा सा कैमरा बिठा दो, कंप्यूटर की वो अंदर चिप आ जाए, उसमें इंफॉर्मेशन, और वो कैमरा में उसमें अंदर जिस व्यक्ति आपका टारगेट है उसका फोटो लगा दो, और अप्रोक्सीमेट लोकेशन उसका डाल दो, और उसको वो जो क्या कहते हैं वो उड़ते हैं वो ड्रोन्स, ये छोटा सा ड्रोन है बट वेरी पावरफुल वन, ये उड़ेगा। केवल उसको प्रोग्रामिंग कर दो कि ये टारगेट को जाके तुम्हें मारना है। दिस ड्रोन विल गो, उसके पास मेमोरी है जो फेस रिकॉग्निशन की, उसका कैमरा देखेगा कहाँ है ये आदमी, और जहां उसको मिल गया उसके अंदर उतनी एनर्जी है, वो बैटरी पावर रखा है कि दिस स्मॉल मटर का जो दाना है वो एक बुलेट बन जाएगा। एनर्जी इसकी उतनी निकलेगी, झट जाके उसके यहां पर लगेगा, द पर्सन विल डाई देयर इटसेल्फ। कोई आदमी की जरूरत नहीं, कोई किलर की जरूरत नहीं, कोई क्रिमिनल की जरूरत नहीं, कुछ नहीं, और वो उसका किलर जो होगा वो बैठा होगा न जाने कहां पर। This is such scary thing, AI, because मनुष्य जो काम कर सकता है वो सारे काम मशीन कर लेगा, और मशीन भी छोटा 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 होता जाएगा। उस समय पहली बात तो with the help of spirituality, what does spirituality do? I'm sure you were not in yesterday's pravachan evening. I say धर्म क्या सिखाता है, श्रीमद् भागवत की आवश्यकता क्या है? विवेक, डिस्क्रीशन। भागवत केवल कहानियां नहीं बताता, भागवत केवल भजन नहीं गवाता, इट टीचेस यू डिस्क्रीशन, विवेक शक्ति। अध्यात्म हमें विवेक देता है। विवेक क्या है? एबिलिटी टू आइडेंटिफाई what is right and what is wrong, and courage to practice the right and discard the wrong. This is what spirituality does. What is good and what is not good? What is right for me to do and what is not right for me to do? People are intelligent enough to understand what is good and what is not. But the problem comes, they cannot gather courage to put the right into practice and discard the wrong. Spirituality helps you here. As I said in the answer while answering Khushbu, that it makes you internally so strong that you don't get carried away with people. You are not under peer pressure. You are not under any social pressure. You know what is precisely right, and you have the courage. Even if you are alone, even if you have entire society opposing you, but your internal conviction is so strong that you will stick to your goodness and ultimately you will be successful. This is what spirituality does. It makes you spiritual. Your pure self. Spirit. What is spirit? Spirituality word is dependent on the spirit. Spirit is your true self, Atma. You are not the body. You are not the mind. You are not the social relations. You are a soul, and soul has a very independent journey. Soul has a tremendous amount of energy. With the help of spiritual process, we release this energy and put it for a good cause. Even in the world of AI, if you have this vivek, the discretion, you will put this great force for a good cause, and you will uplift the humanity with the help of spirituality. Correct? Last question. Barkha, you decide who will ask the last question.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
My name is Shashank Shrestha, and thank you so much for sharing this knowledge with us. I have a question regarding a dilemma that I have. It's, I guess, between money and relationships, right? So I have a good friend who borrowed some money from me and doesn't seem to pay back. So regarding that, would you suggest I forget the money because he's a friend, or should I forget the friendship because he didn't pay me my money?
Shrestha, but your first name?
Shashank.
Shashank Shrestha. First of all, let me congratulate this young Nepali generation has wonderful English and with good accent. Because initially, as I said, I have been visiting this country since '89. Initially, even people who used to speak English, but that English was with Nepali accent. But Shashank, the way you speak and the other speaking, you have wonderful diction and wonderful accent. So, yeah, Nepal is progressing. Congratulations on that. Yeah, coming to your question, Shashank. There's a beautiful saying. In any relationship, friendship in your case, in any relationship, if you want to maintain the relationship, don't give money. And if you want to give money, give it with a condition, mental condition, with an understanding that this is gone. Only then you give. In relationships. Because money is one thing which has always created problems in the society. We feel that money is a source of happiness, but unfortunately most complexities are created out of money. First of all, no matter how much you earn, you are never satisfied. You means not you particularly, people are never satisfied. There is always the craving for more and more and more and more. Secondly, when one person is progressing financially, it generates jealousy in the minds of people around him. And it is very difficult to control this feeling of jealousy. It is not in your hands because you cannot control others' minds. You may feel that, okay, let me share my wealth with others and they will be happy. No, because the greed is in their mind also. The more you give, the more they want. So it is never satisfying. You cannot keep hiding your money, otherwise, you will feel what's the use of it if you just keep earning and hiding and you don't use it, if you don't use it for good clothes, if you don't drive a good car, if you don't travel, then you say, मैं कमा किसके लिए रहा हूँ? So you cannot just keep hiding also. And in modern times, there are so many avenues to enjoy your money too. Initially it was not there. Like 50 years ago, a person who was wealthy was eating the same food as a middle class person would eat. There were no options. Now there are so many options. And you want to use those options to make your life happy. This creates envy in the eyes of others. Also, this creates expectations in the people. In your case, if you had not given money to your friend, probably he would have created a bitter feeling. Shashank has the money and look what's the kind of friendship he has. If he can't help me in my tough situation, then Shashank is not a good friend of mine. He would have certified. Not that you are not a good person, but because you did not fulfill his expectation, his or her, whatever your friend is, you did not fulfill his expectation, you are bad. Now, the matter doesn't end there. He would have gone around in the society and said, don't trust Shashank. He is of no use. He may be earning money, he may have surplus, but what's the use being a friend if he cannot help us? So animosity was seeding there. You took a decision to spare some money, and now he may be feeling, Shashank has so much. Even if I don't return, it's not going to make any difference to him. He's still going to wear the same clothes. His standard of living is not going to change. But if I if I give back his money, probably my situation will go down a little bit. So, to begin with, when he demanded money, your relationship was at stake. Now, Shashank, it is up to you. What do you value much? The relationship or the money? Only you can decide, because you know how much emotionally, socially involved you are with the person you're talking about, and how much amount you have given. Only you can weigh and balance. So there cannot be a standard formula. Forget your money and keep the relationship. No, it cannot be. I may be doing injustice to you. And at the same time, I cannot say that, no, at any cost, take your money back. I cannot say that. Nobody can say that. I'll be doing injustice to you again in that case. So you have to weigh how much emotion. What is your bigger loss, the money or the relationship? After breaking the friendship, are you going to worry, oh, such a wonderful friend, I have spent such wonderful times with him, such wonderful, memories of him, and all that is at stake. So take a moment. One thing is there. Again, in a general thumb rule, I'm saying, if relationship persists, there is a chance of money coming back. But if you break the relationship today, the chance of money coming back is zero. फिर तो उसको शर्म ही नहीं रहेगी ना. अभी तो जब मिलोगे तो at least he knows that Shashank, you have given me money. There is some social pressure. If the relationship is not there, nothing is left. So this is what I can suggest you, and you have to take your ultimate decisions. Right? Thank you, dear friends. It was wonderful spending some time with you on this Sunday morning. I hope what I have shared from the Vyaspit is helpful to you, and I request you two things. A, if you can come, please make time and come for the evening discourse. I'm sure, please don't consider it as just another Bhagavad Katha, oh, bahut sari kathaएं chalti hai, ye bhi ek hogi. No, this is going to be different, and you might have got some idea with this 1 hour discourse of mine this morning. So you will learn a lot. You will have an opportunity to make a positive change in your life if you listen to this Bhagavad organized by my very dear, respected Pawan, Kumar and Suman ji Agrawal and family, and Jayshree Charities in Nepal. And secondly, take a moment. Please take out your cell phones now. Your mobile phones, please take out. And go on YouTube. Please do that. हिंदी में बोलूं, आपके फ़ोन बाहर निकालिए, YouTube पे जाइए, सर्च कीजिए Pujyashree Bhai, Pujyashree, इतना करोगे तो आ जाएगा Pujyashree भाई. आया मेरा पिक्चर आपके स्क्रीन पर? कितने लोगों ने देखा? Subscribe the channel, press the bell icon. You will have wonderful library of spiritual material. Bhagavad Katha, Ram Katha, more so Bhagavad Gita pravachan, Hanuman Chalisa pravachan, Ramayana, Upanishads, such youth seminars world over in English, Hindi and other languages. It is like a, as I said, it's a treasure that will help you in so many ways of our future. Thank you so much. May God bless you all.
I would like to thank Guruji and all the speakers who have joined us today to guide us on this path. Their knowledge and experience will be invaluable as you remark to our own personal and professional journeys. We would like to thank Guruji for his time. Thank you.